Today I'm going to show you how you can fly with a chair device. You can use this to fly around on cool mounts or even a toilet if, that's something you wanted to do. If you don't want to follow along, you can find all of the code in my Discord, which will be the first link in the description below. Before we get into the tutorial, I first want to tell you about Map Academy. You get access to tons of very useful scripts that you can use to make all sorts of games. And that doesn't even mention all the other amazing features, like access to a community of other developers. You get constant support for any problem you might have, verse requests, and literally so much more. So definitely, if you're interested, just check it out. It'll be in the description below. So let's get right into it. The first thing that we need to do is make a new verse file. So I'm going to go to the Verse Explorer, right click on our content folder, and create a new verse file. Here you can name this anything you want. I'm going to name this Flight Manager and hit create. Now I can open this up by double clicking. And the first thing we need is our chair device that we're going to be using to fly on. So I'm going to make an editable chair, and it's going to be of type chair device, and it's going to be equal to a chair device. Now we want to do something whenever this chair is sat on. So we will control click on chair device to see what we can do. And we have a seated event. So I'm going to copy that and say chair.seatedEvent.subscribe start flight. And if we go back to our chair device here, you'll see the seated event sends an agent. So let's make a new function here called start flight. And it's going to take an agent. This is the name, so we can name this anything we want if we wanted to. And it's going to be of type agent. And we don't want to return anything, so we're going to say void. Instead of this, I'm actually just going to call this an agent so we know what it is. Then underneath this, I'm going to get the Fort character of that agent. So I'm going to say Fort character is equal to, then we get our agent, and we say dot get Fort character. And after this, you need to put brackets because sometimes the agent doesn't have a Fort character. It can be something else like a car. It can be something else like a car. So this is optional, meaning it has the brackets, but we have an error here. That's because we need to use characters. So I'll add that here. So you have to get rid of this because it's ugly. And now that we have the Fort character from our agent, it's going to move the chair in the direction the player is looking. So to do this, we actually need to create a new function. So this function is going to be called move chair, and we're going to send the Fort character. So I'll say FC for Fort character of type Fort character. It's also type void. And the reason we're creating a new function is because this needs to be suspending. So we need to add suspends. But the reason that we couldn't do this in our first function is because if we add this here, let me first do a block so there's no error. We get an error here because the seated event can't subscribe to a suspending function. That's why we have to make a new function here. So now let's call this function and send our Fort character. So we'll say move chair Fort character. So we will send our Fort character to this move chair function. But we get an error. That's because it has the suspends effects. And if we're suspending a function, we need to spawn it by doing this. Okay, so in this function, we're going to make a loop. And in this loop, we're first going to get our player's location by saying fc.getTransform. A transform is going to be the same as a transform in game. So in each transform, we have a location, which is going to be our translation, a rotation, and a scale. So if we go back to reverse, we're trying to get the position. So that's going to be our .translation. Before moving on, I'm actually first going to add a sleep for 0.0. So that's as fast as we can possibly run this loop. Now that we have the player's translation, so because this is the translation, to be able to use it, I need to make a variable equal to it. So I'm going to say our player position is equal to this. Now I'm also going to get our rotation. So I'll say our player rotation is equals to fc.getTransformed. So these will be the three values. So this is a translation, a rotation, and a scale. And we'll say dot rotation. So now we have the player's position, but we want to move the chair in front of the player. We need to first get our player front vector. So to do this, we will say our player forward vector is equal to fc.get view rotation dot get local forward. And we get an error here because we need to use spatial math. So what this is a vector, or you can imagine it as a line that's facing in front of the player. But right now that line is very small. It doesn't have any length, so we need to increase the length by multiplying it by a certain amount. So I'm just going to say an amount like 300. So this is a location in front of the player, but it's not based off of the player's position. So we now need to make a last position, which will be, we'll call it our move position. And that's going to be our player position plus the vector that's facing in front of them. So now we have a position that's going to face in front of the player around 300 meters. So once we have the position we want our chair to move to, we are going to move that chair. So we will say chair.move to, and if we look at move to in the Fortnite docs, so sometimes you'll get an error and you can just control F in the Fortnite documentations for move to, and you'll see that it takes a position, a rotation, and a time. So if I go back, and our position is going to be our move position here. Our rotation, we want it to be our player rotation. And then our time, this will be how fast it's going to move from its original position to this new position. So you can play around with this for your own settings, but I'm actually just going to have this as 0.2. That means the speed will be based off a combination of how fast this move to is, as well as how far away the vector is. So for example, it's going to move from its current position to the new position every 0.2 seconds. So if this was 10,000, it'd be moving a lot larger distance over this amount of time rather than it being 300. All right, and that's it. So now let's go ahead and go in game and test this out. So I'm going to hit build verse code and drag our manager down. Now we need a chair device. So I'm going to search for a chair, and there's a lot of other chairs. So specifically search for a chair device and you'll find it. Here we have some settings for the chair model. Right now I can use basic, but you can actually use custom. This way you could select your own mesh. So, if you want them to ride on like a cylinder, or, you could change this to a full dragon if you wanted to. All right, but for now, I'm going to just have this set to a basic chair, and I'm going to select this in our device, in our manager, and then I'm going to launch session to test it out. All right, so now in game, if I go down and sit in our chair, you'll see we are moving in the rotation that we are looking. But one problem, our chair is not moving with us, so let's actually fix that. If you go back into our code, we're moving our chair to our player rotation. But because our player is sitting in the chair, the player's rotation is not changing. So instead, we need to get the view rotation. So instead of getting our get transform and then a rotation, I'm instead going to get our view rotation. And with that, if I push first changes, you'll see that when I sit in the chair, we now actually rotate in the position that we want. There are a few more improvements we can make though, so let's go ahead and do that. The first is a way to exit this chair. So what I'm actually going to do is, before the loop, I'm going to add a race. And then I'm going to press tab for the loop so that it's underneath this race. And then before the loop, I'll say block, and then chair dot exited event dot await. So this might be a little confusing. What this does is, the race is kind of what it sounds like. It races everything underneath it, meaning both of these are going to be running simultaneously, and whenever one of them completes, it will cancel both. So what this means is that for our loop, it's going to keep running infinitely, and then it's also going to, at the same time, wait for the exited event from the chair. And then whenever this happens, it's going to end everything that's underneath this race, including the loop. But now there's one more thing that I want to do, and that is to add an orbit camera. So I'm going to make an editable, and I'm going to call this cam And to get the name of this, I always forget. If you go into Fortnite, you can just search for what you need and it will appear. So the name of this is a gameplay camera orbit device. So I'll add it here, and I will add whenever a player seats in this function here, or you could do it here above the loop, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to say cam.add to, and I'm going to add it to our agent. Then the same thing, I'm going to actually copy this, but after the chair gets seated on, I want to remove the camera from, but we need to have an agent here. So I will first convert our Fort character to an agent by saying if agent is equal to our Fort character dot get agent. And then I have to press tab so that it's underneath this if statement. And just like that, our camera is going to get added to the player whenever they enter the chair. And whenever they exit the chair, it's going to remove from the player. So let's go ahead and test that in game by first building verse code, then getting an orbit camera device, and placing it down. Here you need to organize the settings you want. So first thing I'm going to do is remove the players from start. And then I want it to kind of be a little farther away from the player. So first I'll increase the field of view, and then I'm going to change the distance to like 200. Then I'm going to select this camera in our device and push changes. So as you can see in game now, if I sit in the chair, everything is working correctly, and if I dismount, it stops following me and the camera goes back to normal. The very last thing I want to do is actually make this chair controllable. So I'm going to end the game, and the first thing I need to do is go back to our verse code, and I'm going to add an input trigger device. So I'm going to make an editable input trigger of type input trigger device is equal to input trigger device. And then I'm going to remove this R here and the T and the E because I made a mistake. And now in this input trigger device, we have a pressed event and a released event. So what I'll do is say input trigger dot pressed event dot subscribe move forward, and I'm going to copy this and duplicate it, and I'm going to change it from pressed event to released event, but this one I'm going to call stop moving whenever they release. So now let's make both of these functions. So move forward of type agent of type returns nothing, so returns void. And I'm actually going to first make a variable up here, and I'm going to call it moving forward, and it's going to be a logic variable, and it's going to be initially set to false. So whenever they are pressing the input trigger to move forward, I'm going to set moving forward equal to true. And now let's make a stop moving function by doing this, and I'm just going to copy everything else that we have. But instead of setting this to true, I'm going to set this to false. But here we have an error. That's because if we go to our released event here, instead of just sending an agent, it sends both an agent and a float. So if we go back and we'll say time of type float, because that's what it actually sends. It sent the float is the duration that the input was held. So now that we have this, we have no more errors, and this is set to false. So now let's actually make this do something. First, we need to actually register the player for the input trigger. So we'll do that whenever they enter the chair. So we'll write input trigger dot register, and we'll register our player. And then I'm actually going to duplicate this and unregister the player whenever our player exits the chair. So I will say unregister. That's not a thing. So if I go to our input device and it is called unregister, it's just not capitalized. There we go. And here we don't have an agent, but again, this is the same problem from earlier that we had with the camera. So I'll just actually put this under the same if statement over here where we convert our Fort character to an agent. Now let's make it so it'll only do this loop if moving forward is set to true. So I will copy that, and every single time before doing anything, it's going to check the moving forward variable. So I'll say if moving forward is equal to true, or another way you can write this is actually to remove this and just put a question mark here because it's a logic variable. So if moving forward is equal to true, is what that pretty much says, then we will, get the player's position and move the chair. And it's going to constantly loop this, and every single time it'll check this first. So now let's test this out in game by building verse code and adding our input trigger. Here, let's select our input. We want forward/backwards and our axis direction to be positive. Then we want to go down here and select registered player behavior require registered. Last, we just need to select this input trigger is in our manager here and push changes. Alright, so back in game, if I sit in our chair, I don't do anything, but whenever I press W to move forward, you'll see we fly, and if I let go, it stops moving. Then whenever I dismount, everything cancels. And that's it for how to make flyable mounts. If you found this tutorial helpful and want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, if you have any ideas for a tutorial request, please leave that in my Discord that you'll find as the first link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and catch you guys in the next one.